So let's talk about the families of instruments in the orchestra. Instruments, like people, belong to families. This is my sister, and this is me, your music teacher. So if you look at the two of us side by side, you can tell we're from the same family. If you look closely, we both have brown hair, we both have brown eyes, we both have very similar noses, but if you look at us again, you can tell that we're not the same person. For instance, even though we both have brown hair, my hair is a little darker than hers. She's wearing glasses. I don't have glasses. She's got a kind of different smile than I have. Families of instruments are just like that. They have characteristics that are very similar, but if you look at them side by side, you will also notice they're not the same instrument. So, characteristics of a woodwind family, they have lots of keys. They use a reed or air that runs across the mouthpiece to vibrate. So, like, well, and even if you blow air across the mouthpiece like in a flute, it still makes the air vibrates across the hole like in a flute. Um, Reeds vibrate against each other, and that's what creates the sound. Brass instruments have valves instead of keys. There are usually like three or four of them, and the vibration comes when you buzz your lips. Now, buzzing your lips is kind of like blowing raspberries, but you're going to make your lips a little thinner, and then they buzz against each other, kind of making your lips tickle a little. And then you put a mouthpiece against it, and when you do that, you blow it by blowing into that mouthpiece. It makes the it makes the instrument a little longer, and it's going to make a different sound. And then when you put the mouthpiece on the actual instrument, it makes the instrument even longer. So, what I want you to do is I want you to try buzzing your lips, but listen carefully. You're going to make your lips a little thin. I'm going to demonstrate first. Now it's your turn. Now, if you make your lips thinner or tighter or looser, it's going to make the sound higher or lower. Go ahead and try that. Okay. Stringed instruments. What do you think a stringed instrument's going to have? That's right, strings. And those strings must be strummed, plucked, or bowed. Strummed, like on a guitar, plucked, like on a harp, or bowed, like a violin. Now, a bow is a long, like a stick, a piece of wood, and on either end are a bajillion horsehairs. Then you take some wax called rosin, wipe it across the strings or the horsehair, and it makes a thin sheet. Then you slide it across the strings of your instrument, and that catches on the strings and it makes them vibrate. Percussion instruments. That's what we have a lot of in our classroom. In fact, that's all we've got in our classroom are percussion instruments. And those percussion instruments can be pitched or non-pitched. A pitched percussion instrument is like the metallophone or xylophones or glockenspiels like we have in our classroom. And if you play them, you could play a melody. Percussion instruments that are non-pitched play a rhythm, but not a melody. And like a drum. Now, percussion instruments must be struck, shaken, or scraped to produce a sound. This is the inside of my piano. Now, these, I don't know if you can tell or not, but there are little hammers that when you press the keys, hit the strings. And because the strings are being hit, that makes the piano a percussion instrument. Percussion instruments that are shaken are like the maracas, and percussion instruments